we want to discuss some logical concept in case of DI, which is really applicable. Here, one of such concept is we can find it out in some of the time distribution of elements. Distribution of elements is very important. We need to first understand that it is not as a quantitative approach wise. Herever we need to go with this logical approach to understand that how many elements are falling under that particular set type. So to understand that, we need to take some set and discuss that and try to understand what we will consider for this case. Here to distribute these elements, we will take one very specific logical concept. We can call it as a chocolate concept, distribution of chocolates, or distribution of maybe instances. So whatever it is, that we will take it up and we will try to understand. In case of distribution of elements, it would be very difficult for us to understand that if more than three sets when or three sets information given, how we can go on distributing it. Like here, in this case, each region, it has been divided among 5 different sets. We will try to understand this first, what it has mentioned. As a part of its survey for ranking academic institutions, a TV channel surveyed academic institutions in 4 zones. A, B, C, D, these are the 4 regions. The following table gives the number of academic institutions in each of the region that satisfy the minimum basic requirements. This is the number of academic institutions who satisfy minimum basic requirements as specified by the TV channel in each of the 5 parameters on which the academic institutions were evaluated. The parameters are academics, teachers, infrastructure, course content, and student quality. This table gives also the total number of academic institutions surveyed. The total number, it is nothing but given here, these 40, 50, 25, and 50. These are the total number of academic institutions surveyed in each region. Now, what is the meaning of that particular table that we need to understand? In a single region, if I try to understand, let's say region A, where I can find there are 40 number of academic institutions. Out of that, 15 institutions, they satisfy the academics, the criteria of academics. Number of academic institutions that satisfy the minimum basic requirement. For all of it, some basic requirements are there. Out of 40, 15 numbers, those who satisfy the minimum basic requirement. Out of 40, 11, those who satisfy the teacher's minimum basic requirement. Similarly, these all are data. But how they are divided, that we need to understand only logically. And to understand that, what we will consider, in a classroom, let's say for only region A, if I am discussing. In a classroom, let's say there are 40 number of students sitting. These are the 40 institutions, those who are sitting. And I have a bowl of chocolates. From here, 15 number of chocolates I have distributed some of these 40 number of students among them. But definitely these, whenever these 15 I am distributing, no one can get more than one. So already 15 number of chocolates distributed among 15 number of students out of total 40. Then teachers criteria fulfilled, and again 11 number of that chocolates it would be distributed. And whenever we are distributing that, there is a chance that some of them are overlapping with these 15. There is a chance that some of them are not overlapping. These concepts we go with two sets well. But if the multiple such case is appearing, then what should I do? That is our major requirement. Here we can think of it for region A, out of 40 students, they will get this plus 15 plus 11 plus 17, 19, 22. Together it is 84. Let's say 84 number of chocolates, it would be distributed among 40 number of students. Now there are lots of such kind of questions given where this chocolate distribution concepts, if I keep it in mind, we will be able to solve it easily. Let's go for our first question of this type. Question number one, it says that at least how many of the academic institutions surveyed, total institution surveyed, met the minimum basic requirement in both the parameters, academics and teachers. We want to find, it need to be minimum, at least minimum number of institutions, those who are satisfying both of the parameter, academics and teacher. That means our target is only looking after that academics and teacher, this segment. I am not at all interested in the part given here. This part is not in our picture. We will not at all consider this part. Okay. Now, please try to understand what it has mentioned. At least, that means number of institutions, minimum, those who are satisfying both of it. Now, in our region, individual region, we need to think of it. First region, region A. Whenever region A I am considering, I know that region A, there are 40 number of institutions, or as per our example that there are 40 number of students present. And 15 students received academics chocolate, 11 number of students has received teachers chocolate. Now these two taken together, it would be 26. But there are total 40 number of students. So if I am interested not to give anyone both of this type of chocolate, it is highly possible. It is similarly like that. If I am considering that two vein and this is the total A, so these 15 and 11, I can keep it separate. There is no any overlapping is possible because our target is least. So this thing I will do. So for A, I will put it, it is actually 0 number of institutions, those who are satisfying both academics and teachers. If I want to make it, because at least it is a demand. In case of B, it is 50 total, and again the sum is less than 50, it is given as 35. So again 0 number of institutions, those who are satisfying both of it. It is our demand to make it less, and I can make it 0. But for C, you please check it up where we cannot do. Because 13 and 14, if I take the number of chocolates given 13 and 14, so there must be some kinds of overlapping because total is already 27 and this is 25. So two numbers, it should be overlapping. There are definitely two number of students, those who will receive more than one chocolate. In which way we can think of it? It is, I can see that it is 13 plus 14, 27, and it is 25, one less. I can make 25 less, so 2 would be my answer. But rather than going by this way, you think of it logically and think of it how it is possible. 25 number of students and 13 chocolates initially given 25, so 13 number of students has received it. Then 14 number of chocolates again I need to give, and I am giving to the students those who have not received. So after doing it, I can fulfill that another 12 number of students can be of the type those who have not received. Within them I will give these 12. Now next two, whenever I need to give, that would be given to the students those who have already received academic chocolate. So that 2 would be for our region C. Now same thing I will think of it for D. Here also 18 and 13 together it is 31, one more, so 1. That means our three number of institutions, those who are satisfying, that means at least three number of institutions, those who are both satisfying academics and teacher. So three would be the answer in this case. This type of logic we will try to elaborate in our next questions also. Please check the next question. Now let us check the second question. All academic institutions which satisfy the minimum basic requirement in at least three of the five parameters are to be considered for all India ranking. That means the three parameters, if it is satisfied, so it should be considered as all India ranking. Four parameters, so also all India ranking. Five parameter, also all India ranking. Means three minimum, three number of parameters satisfied, so it should be all India ranking. Now I want to maximize at most how many of the academic institutions of region A surveyed would be considered for the ranking purpose. So basically our target is to discuss that region A only. I need not to think of it the other region. Now in region A, I know there are, for region A discussion, I will consider that 40 number of students are there. They are sitting, those who are region A students. And out of that, 15 has received academic chocolate, 11 has received teachers chocolate, infrastructure chocolate is 17. In this way, all these given, and adding then sum of them, it is coming as 84. So here we can see that in a classroom of 40 students, 84 number of chocolates I have to distribute. And it has not mentioned that each of the institute or each of the institutes has to satisfy minimum one criteria. That is not mentioned. So there may be some of the students, those who have not received any single chocolate. It is possible. So what I will do to satisfy the maximum, because at the most how many academic institutions of A would be considered for the ranking purpose? I want to give maximum. So to maximum, what should I give? These 84 chocolates I will distribute in such a manner that if a student has received any single chocolate, has received 3 chocolates. And in this way, all 3 if I divide, then I can find that maximum number. It is coming as 28. So basically 28 number of students will receive 3 chocolates each, because 84 number of chocolates, and I will divide among 28 number of students, and each will receive 3. It is possible, and that should be my maximum number. If I am giving anyone less, then definitely less than 3. If anyone given more, so definitely number of students receiving 3 chocolates will be also less. So it should be our maximum number. Our answer would be option C, 28. So understanding with the chocolate concept, it would be much better to solve it rather than drawing the set or Venn diagram. Let us check the next question now. Now, in third question, it has said that of the academic institutions surveyed in region A, those satisfying the minimum basic requirement in a minimum of 2 of the 5 parameters are at least. We need to understand the logic of the questions as best as possible. Here our target, region A is our target. Other regions we need not to think of it. These we need not to think of it. Only A I need to think. Those satisfying the minimum basic requirement in a minimum of 2 of the 5. That means 2 basic requirement. If it is satisfied, it should be good enough. It can satisfy 3. So basically criteria satisfying 2, 3, 4, 5. Any such can be done, not 1. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because minimum 2 of the 5 parameters, it has been satisfied. Need to be at least how many? I am returning back to my concept of chocolates and trying to get these entire questions with the logic of chocolate. Here, I have already assumed there are 40 students in A, 40 students, and among them total I am distributing 84 chocolates because total is 84. And what I need to do, I want to distribute to the students, those who are receiving 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. These would be minimum of 2 of the 5. This criteria fulfilling. The students, those who have received either 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. These need to be as minimum as possible. I don't want to give these. So what I want to give? Initially, 1 chocolate all. So give 1 all. 1 can be given to how many of the students? 40, because there are 40 number of students. Still in my hand, there would be some of the chocolates balance. So 44 remains. Now these 44 remains chocolate I need to distribute. And in which way I can do it so that this criteria of minimum I can satisfy. If I am giving rest number of chocolates to 1 each all, then all 40 will get these again second chocolates. But I want to make it minimum. How I can do it? I will not give it to 2. What I will give it? Now I want to give it extra 4. That means 1 initially has received all of them. Now extra 4 I want to distribute. Because the students, those who have received another 4 chocolates, that students will actually have all 5 chocolates. Because already 1 chocolates they have received. And that 4, extra 4 I want to divide, and that is 44 remain. So 44 by 4 means 11 number of students will be receiving that 4 chocolates each, and they have already received 1 chocolate. So what will be the final scenario? 11 have received 5 each, and rest others, that means 29 has received 1 each. These are the criteria that we have fulfilled, and my answer would be 11 in this case. Here only we need to check that it is possible, because after doing mathematically, I can see that minimum value is 11. If minimum value was less than 11, then that 11 is not possible. But whenever it is 11 or more, it is highly possible. It is actually overlapping sets we have done. And the problem we have solved with the concept of chocolates. Now we will take again another set questions to understand that same thing. One more set informations, wherever we are using the same concepts of chocolate distribution, try to understand these one. It is 2 sets of informations given. What it has mentioned, that 200 executives were interviewed on the basis of which the following graphs have been prepared. What it has been their outcome? It was the question, what are your primary reason for conducting your current divestment? So divestment has been done by these executives in their company, and what are the primary reason of the divestment, that we need to understand. And there are multiple responses were accepted also. Anyone can say primary reasons more than one time also. That is possible because we have seen that there are six such variables, six such primary reasons mentioned. One is raising cash for pay down debt. Second is divested business in unit is non-core. There is bottom line performance, it is not satisfying, divested business unit detracts from bottom line performance. Future shape of the business portfolio, that is the reason. We feel that we can get a higher price for it as a seller. Divested business unit is affecting market share price. So these are the 6 different reasons mentioned, and these are the primary reasons. If I go on finding the sum of it, these percentages, if I go on adding, after addition, it is coming as 114%. If I take these are all percentages, so 114%, which is not possible. More than 100%, how possible? So definitely there would be some kinds of overlapping. But what is that overlapping, that I don't know. Again, another thing it has mentioned, what is the most important success factor for your divestment? And these are the different set of people have mentioned at different values, different kinds of thing. Primary, most important success factor, it has been mentioned. Now, with these informations, we are going for our first. Now, first question: what is the difference between maximum and minimum number of executives who has two primary reasons for conducting divestments? So divestment, it has been done by two primary reason. These one, I want to find maximum what is the number and minimum what is the number. Or initially you want to find maximum or minimum percentage difference. Maximum percentage, how many can be doing that two primary reasons. Minimum, how many can be. Now 114. Now again, we are considering the chocolate concept. As it is a percentage, I am considering that there are 100 number of people and 114 number of chocolates I have to divide. So as all of them are giving minimum one criteria, so 100 chocolates I have to distribute initially. So extra number of chocolates will be 14. 14 I have to divide. Now if 14 number of extra chocolates I am dividing among 14 people out of 100, then that should be the maximum number of people, those who are receiving two chocolates. So maximum would be 14 percentage. What would be the minimum? How I can find the minimum? If that 14 I want to distribute among less number of people, then what I can do? All have already received one each. So extra 14 I am dividing. And one each means one criteria already fulfilled. There are total 6 number of criteria. So extra, if I want to give, it can be 5 only. So after that 5 at the rate of 5, to how many people I can give it? To 2 people I can give it, because 10 I cannot give to 3. Again, at the rate of 4, I can give to 1. So are these are 2 and 1. These set of people are actually minimum number of executives, minimum percentage of executives who has two primary reasons for conducting divestment. Because here I can see that these minimum number, it would be 2 plus 1, it would be 3 percentage. So considering that, the difference, it should be nothing but 11%. And 11% out of 200 means answer, it would be 22. So option A would be the answer. So understanding with the concept of chocolate, it would be possible to solve this problem here.